Hello, everyone. So my name is Isabelle. I work at SIPH, a company that belongs to the SIFCA group here in West Africa. And I'm responsible for the EUDR strategy. And since 2023, I've been coordinating her group efforts around EUDR implementation, from operational alignment to audit readiness. And we are based in 4 different countries in the rubber section, which is Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, Nigeria, and Liberia. And so I'm going to introduce you to her roadmap to EUDR compliance. Next slide, please. Thank you. So first of all, just a quick introduction about SIPH. So SIPH is part of the SIFCA group, which is the leading agro-industrial group in West Africa. So SIFCA has 4 different subsidiaries, which is PALMC, SANIA, SAPH, and Sucre Ivoire. So we are on different segments like sugar, palm oil, and rubber. And for SIPH, which is her rubber section, we specialize in natural rubber production, from plantation to processing and exporting, almost 400,000 tons per year. And her clients are mainly the tire industry. And we work with over 60,000 smallholders, and we have 10 processing factories. And we are very proud to be the largest natural rubber producer in the region. And so just to tell you more about sustainability at SIFCA. So it's very important to understand that at SIFCA, sustainability is not just a topic. It's part of her DNA. And so here on the slide, you can see her sustainable trees with all of her engagement, which goes from governments, ethics, to environment, to communities, social inclusion. And for example, we are building schools in the communities. We had a zero deforestation policy for a very long time now, and we try to work very precisely on working conditions of the worker, but also the communities around her plantations. And so health, education, climate change, biodiversity, all of those are topics which we are really important for her activities. Next slide, please. Okay, so how do we ensure traceability? So many of you know that EUDR is a huge challenge for everyone that's operating with smallholders and who are exporting. And so we've made very strong progress. We were actually ready in 2024. So we were actually very disappointed when the law was postponed. But for us, we did the geolocation of all of her smallholders with all the plots, with a control, with a geomaticians who controls and make sure that there's no mistakes with the polygons. We have segregation at the factory level. So you can see here on the that we have industrial plantation and smallholder plantations. And when they come to the red bridge, we know directly if they are EUDR or not EUDR. And so EUDR is separated from non-EUDR throughout all of the process, and we assure traceability from the plantation to the clients. And one thing that is particular with SIPH is that we've been working with direct buyers. We have very few dealers or intermediaries, the one who are in between the farmers and us. So we like to buy directly with the farmers, which makes the value chain easier. Next slide, please. Yes, here you can see. Sorry, can you go back? Just. Yes, just here you can see a little example on the picture of the separation of the rubber at the factory. So this is something that we implement. We have strict rule about not mixing the rubber, and we ensure traceability at every level. Next slide, please. So we've been working with Satelligence since 2021, and mainly for deforestation alerts and land cover mapping. And what we particularly appreciate with working with Satelligence is the adaptability. So when EUDR started getting more and more serious, Satelligence were the first one to introduce us to their method. And we like how they integrate new elements very fast, which helped us to adapt to the environment. And one of the positive aspect were the lens map use, which was one of the most accurate if you compare it to for example, the map for from the EU that came out last year. So yeah, constant improvement of the software, adaptability, those are things we really like with working with Satelligence. So just to give you a few elements of the success. So for the next 5 years, we are trying to have 100% EUDR rubber in all of her subsidiaries. So the numbers right now, we have a high percentage of EUDR, which is 80% in Côte d'Ivoire, 100% in Nigeria and Liberia, and around 90% in Ghana. And so we were one of the most advanced in the world. And, you know, we use Rubberway, and the legality bridge would help us to monitor legality. And so we had a very strong demand for EUDR very early. Some of the challenges we faced, you know, in some countries like Côte d'Ivoire is mainly some of the classified forests, which were, you know, at some point it was a bit confusing whether the farmers were in those, whether the forest was still classified or not, even though deforestation happened, you know, more than 20 years ago. So we did have to work with the national law to understand how to place, you know, those farmers. We've been doing a lot of audits to make sure that we are not having, you know, legal issues like child labor, banned pesticide, etc., which demands a big number of field agents. And then one of the last challenges was the disparity in clients' demands. So although every client wants, you know, zero deforestation, we did have a lot of different demands regarding the GPS points and regarding the documentation, which made things a bit challenging for us. So yes, thank you. That was a quick presentation on what we've been doing, and I'm open if there are any questions.
So Isabelle, that was a really good overview of your journey and the amount of work you've done, and especially also looking beyond EUDR. Now you're very close to basically the growers, to the smallholders. You were talking a bit about it already, about how to engage them and what the challenges are. Can you tell us a bit more about how companies can help smallholders and farmers to comply?
So I think it depends really on the environment and in which you are. But for example, for the legality aspect, having a very clear understanding of the law and what is applied to farmers and not is the first step, I would say. And then I think for us, what we did was really communicating with the farmers and let them know that, okay, this regulation is coming. And so if your rubber is not traceable, and if we're seeing, for example, child labor, we won't be able to buy from you. So I think, you know, constant communication and also, you know, come along with the farmers to make sure that he's understanding everything that comes with EUDR. For example, we provide technical assistance to some of our farmers, and so it's a good occasion for us to exchange about those matters, and also, you know, trying to have sort of like a discussion also with the government to make them understand and help you. You know, for example, in Côte d'Ivoire, they had a land map use, which was not the case for Ghana, which made things a bit easier also.
Good to understand. Thank you for explaining further.